Welcome back to the Anti Madden channel. We are back with another Stop This Play segment. This one's going to be a little different. In this video, we're going to learn how to shut down and contain the entire strong close formation. The strong close formation has always been a go-to for people online the last few years in Madden because it has fast, quick reads when it comes to the pass, and in the run game, out of this formation, you can take advantage of the multiple blockers that you have. In my experience this year, when players are playing online and they're running the strong close, they are abusing 3 plays out of this formation. Now, the main ones are the quick toss, the read wide receiver out, and the PAD cross. So chances are, if you've seen the strong close online, you've definitely gone up against either one or all of those plays. And it seems to me that when people actually run the strong close formation, those are the only plays they really run. But today we're going to teach you how to shut down the entire formation, or at least get them out of it. Now, the main thing you want to do when somebody is running the strong close formation is get stops. You want to get them out of this formation. You don't want them getting comfortable and running their plays because they've probably run it millions of times. You want to get them out of it and maybe into an 11 personnel play. Now, for me, 11 personnel is where I do damage on defense. I really love it when people start going 11 personnel because that's when I pull out all my blitzes on people. So I don't want to have to deal with 21 personnel all game long. It's just not something that I want to deal with in terms of stopping the run. You can't allow your opponent to feel confident running the ball. So you got to pretty much get them out of the 21 personnel. And today we're going to go over the 2 plays that I'm talking about. Now, the first one we're going to look at is the 3-4 over, Sam Mike 3. And that is going to be our base defense when we come out against the strong close. So let me just pick the main play that people want to run first. And usually is the quick toss. I'm going to go down to the quick toss. And you can see here we've just got a basically fire zone blitz with this linebacker right here, Cushing, blitzing off the right side. Now, the way we're going to set this up is very simple. The good thing about this setup is that it's very easy, but when you're learning how to do this, you might want to go into practice mode or go into a live game and just practice running, getting used to setting it up as you come out of the huddle. So the main thing you want to do is take this linebacker. Now, you always want to have this, you can see where the blitz is coming off the right side. You want to make sure that it's always on the strong side of the formation. So let's say your opponent comes out with strong close and the tight end is on this side. You want to flip your play and flip it now to the other side. Now you can see that Cushing is in the zone and McKinney over here is now blitzing, right? So that's what you want to do. Always make sure your fire zone blitz is coming off the strong side of the formation. Now, when you figure out what side the strong side is, you want to take that outside linebacker, whichever one it is, and you want to move him outside that receiver, that furthest receiver right here, and just move him outside. Now, the reason we're doing this is because when he blitzes, he's going to usually get past and pick up one of those blockers in the backfield. We'll take a look at that. So that's the first thing you want to do. Just move him out wide, kind of right here. Don't really move him over the receiver. Just move him slightly outside. You want to get to this guy right here, the D tackle on the inside. You want to re-blitz him down, right? So just re-blitz him down. Then what I like to do, if it's to the right, if the strong close is to the right side of the formation, the only thing you got to do is click over once. It'll take you to the right outside linebacker on the left of screen, which in this case is Jadeveon Clowney. You want to put him on a flat zone. Now, let me just show you this zone he's in. He's in this yellow zone right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to put him in a flat zone, bring up the play art, the assignments, put him in a flat zone, and I'll show you it. He's now in the flat zone right here. Now, what we're giving up here is this seam area right here. You can see because we now put him in the flat zone, we've given up the seam area. But the thing about the plays out of the strong close, not a lot of plays actually attack that seam, so it's good. And there is a specific reason why we're putting him in this flat zone. But against this strong close, you can see it's just a strong close formation. We're then going to want to, the way I like to get to the guy is I just click up to the deep safety and then I click down to McKinney right here. McKinney is the guy you are going to use, and it's going to be your responsibility to cover the middle of the field and clean up any runs to the left or the right or the inside. So in this example, we're going up against the quick toss, and I'm just going to show you how I actually attack it. Now, really what I usually do is I'm always anticipating either the quick toss or the HB dive inside. And if it is an HB dive, you want to kind of make sure you're ready to attack this hole right here, this area right here. But once you see it's not and you see it's a quick toss, then you just run outside over here and try to help and clean up on this run play. So we're just going to run it. I'm going to show you how the run play cleans up here. And right there, they end up just blowing up and getting past the blockers. And that's going to happen for you the majority of the time. So we're going to move him out. We're going to re-blitz this DT here. Put Clowney, put him in a flat zone. And then we're going to get to McKinney right here. Move him back to the second level. And then just wait to see what your opponent runs. If it's the run, you react, get outside wide. And the DB on the right, and sometimes even this guy right here, Merciless, will end up blowing up this run. I'm going to show you. I'll put Clowney in the flat zone. And now I'm going to use I'm actually going to use the offense and try to run myself and try to get outside. So really you would have McKinney over there, but now McKinney is not even going. I'm just going to let the computer control it. I'm going to see if I can just run outside and get outside. So if you see right there, the DB comes free because everybody gets picked up, and what happens is the blockers who usually get out in front of the run, they have to actually turn back up inside. You see right here, this guy normally when people run these huge plays, these two guys, Fluker and who's this guy right here? Johnson, they usually get out wide and they just pick up these blocks and impact block people, and it ends up being huge run play outside. But what happens on this play is they actually, because of the way this right outside linebacker right here, Merciless, because he block and releases pretty quickly, he block sheds, he actually both these dudes turn back inside. You see it's 2-on-1, which leaves this guy open right here, and he ends up making the play. Now the wider I took that run, the worse it is, because now I'm trying to get wide and he ends up tackling me for a loss. And this actually would be you right here, McKinney in the back. You can see you'd actually be doing the same exact thing as he's doing. Once you read run to the outside, just get outside and try to help and contain. And you can see right here we've got 1, 2, 3 free defenders to the ball coming out on the outside. So the quick toss game, if you can get this set up in time, let me just show you what happens if you don't set it up in time. I think, yeah, see, look at that. Blockers all day long, and your opponent's going to run the ball on you all day long. But what you got to do is make sure you get out here, put him out here, re-blitz, put Clowney in a flat zone, and get to McKinney all before your opponent snaps it. Once he snaps it, you see that they end up blowing this play up right here. Same thing on the other side. If your opponent flips it, you want to flip it, do the same exact thing, move this linebacker outside, take this guy, re-blitz J.J. Watt. Now you can't click over to this guy, so I guess you could do it like that, but it's a little slow. But I usually, when it's the other way around, let me move this guy out of the way. When it's the other way around, I usually just click over and just slide over to this guy, put him in a flat zone, right? So now he's on a flat zone, and I get back to, this time it's going to be Cushing because we're anticipating the run to the other side. It is a run the other side, and you want to get out there, and you see how he just blows it up, and you get out there and contain it and make sure you can hold your opponent to pretty much minimal gain, minimal run gain. Because even if he tries to turn it back inside, let's run that to the other side. Even if your opponent tries to run it back inside the other way and turn it up inside, let's see what happens if he tries to turn it up inside. If I try to turn it up inside, there's nothing there. There's no hole. So your opponent, most likely, if he's running the quick toss, is going to try to bounce it to the outside, and if he does, he's going to be running right into the DB over there who's going to make that play, and you will also be cleaning it up. Same thing over here. You see this? We're cleaning it up. Look, and sometimes right there, I think the linebacker actually got through and block shed. I think it was Merciless. He ended up block shedding. Yeah, look, he didn't. He just went right past. In the previous play, the wide receiver right there just blocked him, but this time he comes unblocked, picks up the two guys, and then he ends up block shedding, and then look at this, 3 guys coming straight on the ball carrier. So that is how I shut down the quick toss out of the strong close formation when I'm playing people online, and it's very lethal at stopping it. Every now and again you will get your opponent might get some yards out there, but usually it's going to be cleaned up by the DB over there, and you will be coming over to help. Now right there we didn't set it up. We can show you if I set it up. You see the play out right here. Same thing, we're going to be ready with McKinney. As soon as he runs it, we get outside wide. And look at that, they just blow it up. They just blow it up. And that's going to happen, I would say, 90% of the time. So right there, the quick toss game for people who like to run it is completely shut down. So let's take a look at the other plays that they like to run out of this. Now, there's two of them specifically that they like to run. So the one of them is the read wide receiver out right there. And the other one is the double outs. So it's two. But the nasty route on this is that out route, and everybody knows it that's faced it. You know what I'm talking about. That little out route right there on the left, you see Inman. That's the route that, boom, you just throw it, and it gets you like 6-7 yards every time. And then in a crucial situation like 3rd and 5, people will run this just to get that, even first down actually. They'll run this, and sometimes you turn it into a big gain like that, and you just end up running that all day long. So again, we set it up because we don't know what's coming. We don't know if it's the quick toss, the HB dive, whatever. We set it up exactly the same way, and we are waiting to see what our opponent's going to do. Now, the reason we've put Clowney on that flat zone is going to be real clear right here. We're putting Clowney on this flat zone so that he can jump that out route if your opponent decides to throw it, or even just to make your opponent hesitate. Because what we should have sometimes is Cushing right here. He'll be coming through the gap for a sack. He should sometimes come through this gap for a sack. So the way I'm going to do, I'm just going to run it. I'm going to look for this outside receiver. And you can see Clowney just bats it down. I'm going to do that a couple more times to show you that if your opponent came out in this and he's looking for that out route, if he just tries to throw it, it's just not going to be there, right? So Clowney is taking that away. That's why we put that flat zone to shut that down, right? Now, the next thing I want to show you is what happens, what might actually happen if your opponent goes to this, because usually when they run this, they're looking for Inman on that out, and then if he's not open, they'll look for Gates over the middle of the field, and then they'll look for Floyd, right? So let's just say I look for Inman. I don't really like the read. I look for Gates right here, and that's going to be you right there covering that Gates route over the middle of the field. So you are going to have the responsibility, as soon as you read pass, you're going to want to drop into this area right here. Let me reset that. You're going to drop into this area, and typically it's going to be Gates coming on that post route over the middle of the field. So you just need to be ready to cover that, because the last option will be for your opponent. The last option is going to be Floyd on that hook route, and hopefully it will be defended. So I'm just going to go through the reads. I'm going to look for Inman. I don't really like that read, and bam, there we go. We got Cushing coming through, which this blitz is not, I would say it's probably like 30 to 40% of the time it's going to come through. A lot of times it gets picked up for whatever reason, just the way the angle of your the blitzer. But the reason this blitz works is because Cushing, you see these two dudes, it's kind of like an overload on this side, this right guard and this right tackle. There's actually 3 blitzers coming off the edge. You've got Merciless, you got Cushing, and you've got Jared Crick right here, 93. Now you got 3 guys coming against one, because this fullback right here, 88, is not blocking. So if we let it run a little bit, move it back, you see there's 3 guys coming. They can only pick up 2 of them, and Cushing ends up slicing right through the middle and getting straight to the quarterback. So this is what you're going to have. You're not just going to get coverage on this play. You're actually going to get pressure. So if you can take away, right here, Clowney is taking away this. You use the middle of the field, take away that Gates route. You can see that Malcolm Floyd is also covered right here. The only route you're actually leaving open is this, but most people are not looking for that as their primary read. They're looking for the receiver over here. So as soon as you take away read 1, 2, and 3, here comes Cushing in there for the sack. So it's a very nice play in terms of getting pressure, and that's all I'm about on this channel, is getting pressure on my opponent, not letting it get comfortable. And we're just going to set this up same way. And pass commit, actually, I forgot to put that in there. You want to pass commit, actually should be the first thing you do, is pass commit, just to make sure if it's a play action, which we're going to get to, you want to make sure that your rushers don't go after the running back and they go after the quarterback if it's a pass, right? So here we go. Let's run it one more time so you can see the reads. I'm going to look for Cushing. I mean, look for that outside route. And if you don't look, if your opponent doesn't like the reads initially, the pressure is going to be in his face, and he's hopefully going to either throw a pick to you or end up getting a sack, and hopefully coming out of this formation just come out of it and go into something else, right? So you're going to get him out of this, what he likes to run all the time. The next way we're going to attack this, and the thing is, the setup is always the same for every single play out of here. The next one is, let's see, I think it's the cross shot, PA cross shot. Now, if you set this up, now here's the thing about this PA cross shot. This play is not going to work against this, right? It's not going to work against this play in terms of getting pressure. What people like to do on this play is they're either looking for Inman coming on that crossing route going right, or they're looking for Floyd deep middle, and they're usually going to try to guess aggressive catch on you. Now, if I just let this run, you can see there's not really a whole lot of pressure, and I actually do have time to throw that deep ball. So the thing about this play against this particular play is that it doesn't get the pressure that we want against play action. And you're going to have to pretty much just use the middle of the field. Look, I've got time. I'm just going to aggressive catch over this guy. And look at this, ridiculously catching it. And that has happened to me so many times when facing the strong close, where people just throw the ball up deep, aggressive catch it, and it looks like my guy's actually got the pick, but their guy comes down with the ball. So that's one thing you got to remember, is that if your opponent runs this play, I would say the thing you want to do is you're going to want to just go and show over the middle. So this left wide receiver over here, Inman coming on the cross, just want to kind of show in the middle of the field and then get back to help, so that you can get two defenders on that Floyd route when your opponent is running it. So you want to get back something like that. And there is a blitz right there, but it is slow coming off. So let me just show you what you need to do. Let me put this on the computer AI. So the computer AI will run the offense, and hopefully I'll just try to get it set up in time before the computer can run this. Right there, that was me. Let me just throw this. Okay, now the computer's taking over and they're going to play. And hopefully I could get this set up in time. I couldn't get it set up in time. But you see right here, this is going to happen. There's no pressure, and it's just a one-on-one ball right here. And your opponent is going to have a high probability of making that aggressive catch on you. Still couldn't get it set up in time. And look, again. So even the computer goes for that aggressive catch. Now right there, I tried to play the ball. But I'm telling you, when you play people online, most of the time they're going to come down with it. Right there, again, I couldn't set it up in time. And then the computer goes to this guy right here. So I'm actually not able to really show how this is working because I can't get it set up. At that time I should have got it set up in time, but couldn't really. But you can see if he throws it down to one of those guys, he's not going to get a whole lot of yardage. What you're trying to do is go deep. Wow, I thought I was going to get that set up. Couldn't get it set up there, and now it's just a one-on-one ball. And look, comes down. He broke that up, but usually going to come down with it. Let me see if I can get it set up one more time. All right, there we go. Now this is me setting up this. What are you going to do? You want to cover that guy and then cover the middle guy. And look, I still wasn't able to get there and break that up. Let's see, one more time. All right, pass commit. Show over the middle, and then get back with the deep route. So they should break up. That's what should happen, is they should break up that crossing route. If your opponent does try to get to that, they should break that up. You want to show over the middle and then get deep and try to get two people on him. And you see the computer right there checks down because they know. And if your opponent sees two guys on that deep ball, he's got to be pretty stupid to try to throw it into coverage like that. And look, the computer throws it into coverage. You want two people on him. And he still almost gets a chance to come down with it. So that's the way you're going to want to play it if your opponent does come out in that PA deep cross, which is a popular play amongst the strong close formation people. So here, let me show you what the adjustment to that is going to be. So let's say he hits you with that and he goes deep. The play you want to go to is the 3-4 bear out of the pinch buck 0. Now, we've already got this. As you set up your playbook, you want to put these two plays right next to each other. So you see I got the 3-4 over Sam Mike 3, and to the left I've got the 3-4 bear pinch buck 0. Now the pinch buck 0 is nasty against the what is it? The PA deep cross, because that's just I'm gonna show you, but it's gonna shut it down. Your opponent is not gonna have time to do anything. Now let's just say I come out in this play. If you want to, you can set it up, and if you know, or you can come out in your base formation, the Sam Mike, but if you know your opponent is coming out and he's going to run that, you can call the pinch buck 0. Now the pinch buck 0, you see this very little shift in the defense. Basically Cushing will come down to the line of scrimmage, and this Hal right here, he will come over and drop back. You see right there, you got 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. And actually, I'm going to run this from the base formation just to show you, just so there's no screw ups in terms of when I'm just showing you how to run through this tutorial bit. But here we go, PA cross shot. Now the way you're going to set this one up, slightly move out merciless, the same kind of thing, slightly move out merciless. The way I like to get to the guy is click over to this DB right here, which takes you to Cushing. And you want to put Cushing right there in that left A gap. Second level, left A gap, so that when he blitzes right through this left A gap, because what's going to happen, he's going to come straight through and sack the quarterback instantly. And then pass commit. So that's it. Merciless starts here. You want to move him out. Click over to Cushing. Just make sure Cushing is in this area, because you don't want him down here like this. Well, let's say he's over here like this. No, take him to the second level. Make sure he's about right about here, and then get back and use the deep safety. Now, as the deep safety, your man is the running back, but you're not going to really be concerned about the running back on this deep cross play. You're going to just be concerned about helping and showing help, and then making sure you get back on the deep route. But as you're going to see, you're not going to get any time. Your opponent's not going to get any time to even look. So we're just going to run this play. You're going to see Cushing. He's going to come right up the middle, right? Unblocked, right up the middle, because that's where you've put him. And instantly, as soon as your opponent turns, you can see Cushing is just literally coming straight through the gap. And as soon as I turn around to throw, I've got Cushing in my face. And you can see, actually, too, if we look on the back end, these routes down the field, everybody's covered man-to-man, right? So we got man-to-man covered. These receivers do have a little separation, and that's why we are going to be using the back and trying to jump any potential. If he actually does even get a chance to throw this at all, we're just going to make sure we're going to be there for the pick. So again, just move him out slightly. Don't have to move him out here like the last one. Just move him out slightly. Move him out here. Get on this guy right here. Move him into this area. Pass commit, play QB. And user the deep safety and take away those routes that are going over the middle. You can see right there, again, coming straight through. Now let me run it against the computer to show you what's going to happen. And like I've said in previous videos, one of the best ways to figure out if your blitz actually works is to run it against the computer. And if the computer can't get the ball off in time, then you know you got a pretty decent blitz. So now the computer's going to take over on this play. I'm just going to show you that the computer, we'll get it set up in time. Computer cannot get the ball off. You just come over there and click on, if he tries to get away, click on and get that sack. And this is going to happen every time your opponent is in that play action. He's going to come straight off. Look at 2 guys in his face. We'll run it a couple more times. You're going to see there is no go when it comes to running the play action. PA deep cross out of the strong close. There is nothing. There is going to be a defender in your opponent's face every single time, and you are going to sack him. I'd say, again, probably 90% of the time, he's going to get sacked. And you sit back there and just wait for him to throw up a dumb pass, or you sit back and wait for the sack to come in. Last one. Now right there, you see I didn't get Cushing in the right spot, and that's what happens. So that's why it's crucial that you get Cushing or whoever is on your team in that position. Make sure he is blitzing Now right here, I did get him in the right spot, but for some reason Cushing did not. See, Cushing's supposed to come through, but look, he ends up running into the back of Vince Wilfork, taking the wrong angle, which completely messes up the play. Now that gives my opponent time to find a receiver downfield. You see that guy has separation on him, and he ends up catching it right there. So the receivers are going to get separation. That's why we need to have the blitz come in. Can't allow the blitz not to come in because he will get separation. So you can see that's what happens right there. And that is going to be our adjustment once we see him run the PA deep cross. And let's go over this real quick. So let's call the PA deep cross. Now the other way to do it is you can, let's say your opponent is, let's say he's run the ball quick toss the first time, then he tries the out the second time, then it's 2nd and 10, and now your opponent's come out in the same strong close. Now the chances are he is not going to go for the wide receiver out, or he's going to run the quick toss, because those plays are not going to get guaranteed yardage. The play they're going to run is the PA cross. So if you've come out and your opponent goes hurry up and you're setting it up, you can easily just audible over to the 3-4 bear, and everybody will just change the position, pass commit, move this guy out here a little bit, click over. So you see now it's Kenny instead of Cushing, just because of the different personnel in the game. Pass commit, and you should get the same exact result. McKinney should come straight up the middle. Now right there, he does not do a good job, but the blitz comes off the edge. Let's try that one more time. Merciless McKinney, put him in that spot right there. And you can actually re-blitz him if you think that's going to help. He's already on a down blitzing angle anyway. But he should come straight through just like Cushing did, and then right there he does. He comes straight through. So you can, it's easy to audible to your play action killer. So this is your play action killer. Against that PA deep cross, because our base defense is the only play that doesn't really work that well in terms of getting that blitz in. Now, there's another play that people do like to run out of the strong close, which our base defense is going to murder that too. The PA scissors out of the strong close, very popular play. People run it out of the weak. They run it out of the iForm Pro. There's a couple other plays, and it's pretty good because the tight end gets that really good separation. Here we're going to run a stock on my defense. Look, the tight end gets really good separation. Right there. Usually it's against man that it gets separation. Let me just show you, see if I've got a play that's man coverage. And this is the main reason people like to run it. Let's run this free safety blitz. It's a man blitz. But let me show you how that. I'm going to drop him back because it's the blitz. Now usually if you run a man defense on this play, they're going to go play action, boom. He's going to cut outside, and that's going to be huge gain for Gates. And Gates is not that fast, but you get a fast tight end right there, and that's going to be a huge play. It was already a huge play right there anyway, and Gates is not even that fast. I'm going to leave Demps on that blitz. And still, that's even a blitz, a man blitz, and I can still get the ball off to Gates very quickly. And Gates, a little bit past his prime, not that fast of a tight end, but he still gets that separation, right? So our base play is also going to stop this PA scissors, which is another popular play out of the strong close. So we come out in the Sam Mike 3. Let's say our opponent, we don't know what our opponent's in, but if he is in the scissors, it's the same exact setup. Move Merciless out wide, re-blitz, put Clowney on the flat zone. You can see it's the same play art, and we're going to use McKinney. Now, we haven't really got to the responsibilities of McKinney on the run on the left side, but we're going to get to that. Just going to show you how this play just pretty much shuts down the play action scissors. Your opponent's going to come through. Oh, I forgot to pass commit. Okay, so pass committing. Again, that's when it comes into make sure you pass commit. And the thing is, I like to actually pass commit before I do anything at the start. Put Merciless out wide, re-blitz, crick, flat zone, Clowney on the left. We're going to use McKinney. So if your opponent is out in this PA scissors, and the thing is about it, they usually never, now for some reason it gets picked up. Now it usually doesn't get picked up like that, so I don't know what's going on. Pass commit. For some reason, if your opponent comes out in this, you see, yeah, there we go. That's what normally will happen. Maybe I didn't put him out wide enough on that play. So he does want to be slightly a little bit wider outside the that receiver on the right. Want to be kind of outside wide of him. So if your opponent's coming out in this, they're usually going to wait for that play action. And look at that. There's no time for Gates to get out. And you have that outside linebacker, Merciless, that we've put out there. He's now coming on a blitz, right? And when we pass commit, he's coming straight after me, which gives me very little time. I don't even know if I could get the ball off. Let me just see if I could just throw it as quick as I can to Gates and see what happens. Yeah, you can't even, I'm trying to throw it as quick as I can. I still can't even get the ball off. So you cannot get the ball off when running the PA scissors against this defense. It's too fast because that linebacker just comes straight off the edge and comes in for the sack. So you can see this is pretty nasty. This one play is stopping 3 different plays. Stopping the quick toss. Let me see if we got it here. We don't have the quick toss here. Okay, let me no, it's fine. So you can see it's stopping all the quick plays. We stopped the little out route on the left over there. We're stopping the quick toss. We're stopping the PA scissors. We're not really stopping the again, the PA cross shot, if I audible to it. It doesn't really stop this play, but again, we can adjust. We call the pinch buck 0. Move him out slightly. Put McKinney here. This guy is normally like, Watt is normally right about there. In a game, it will set up properly, but practice mode, the players don't move. And again, we can still be ready for all those plays. And right there, he didn't come through the middle just because they didn't set up properly on the but again, we're ready for 4 different plays and pretty much the most popular plays out of this formation. We can stop all of them with this one setup and just be ready for whatever it is. And again, we'd be playing over the middle, and you can see the blitz is coming off on that PA scissors. Now we're going to go to show you a little bit about the run game. There's a little bit of a different adjustment if your opponent tries to run on the inside or tries to take it back with a counter to the other side. Let's go with let's see, we've done these 2. Let's go with the dive weak. All right, so now your opponent is trying to run the ball back to the weak side of the formation. We set it up exactly the same, and we get our thing set up. So we know that the toss is done. We know that the out route is done. We know the PA scissors is done. Only thing we have to really worry about is the PA deep outs, but we can adjust if our opponent starts running that. Now, if he starts trying to run the ball on the inside, this defense already does a very good job at stopping the interior run, but you can make it even better by blowing up the running lanes yourself. Now, what's going to happen is once this run play starts, this gap between the left tackle right here and the right left guard is going to open up for you to run through. And what you want to do is kind of be over the center, just actually kind of behind this guy right here. And you're going to loop through this gap and try to blow up the play in the backfield. And right there, I end up taking the wrong hole. I was trying to get on the inside left A gap, so I didn't really run that the right way. Got to find if you can, and also if you don't like getting to this guy, because sometimes. Let me see how many times it takes to get over to this guy. Yeah, look, you'd have to go to this guy. You could go this guy. 1, 2, 3. It takes you 3 clicks to get over to this guy. But I usually just click up and down because normally he's here. But sometimes he is here, and it makes it difficult to get on him. But again, let's just run this. Boom, right there. So there's a gap right there that opens up if your opponent tries to run it on the inside. And the thing is, you're not going to know what play he's running. But once you see that he's trying to attack that, you see right there I get picked up. You see there's no real open running lanes for him to run it up the inside. But it does give you a chance to hit stick your opponent if he does try to run on the inside. Because look, there's a hole that opens up, and right there we're blowing it up, and you see Cushing is actually coming through the right A gap. So now we can actually even stop the interior run with this if we're ready for it. Right there I get stuck, bounces it outside, and that is going to happen. That's football. Sometimes the opponent may make a spin move, get outside, but the majority of the time we are going to be shutting down this formation. There's not going to be any running the ball, any passing the ball. We're going to be ready for everything you throw at us. And you just got to pay attention to the tendencies of your opponent when he's running this formation. Which plays are his favorite? Which is he trying to go to on, you know, 3rd and long? Most likely it's going to be the PA cross shot. Which plays he going to go to on 1st down? He's probably looking to go quick toss on you. So you just got to pay attention and you just be ready at the snap to come through that left A gap. And you're not going to hit it perfectly every time. I mean, one of the reasons I'm actually hitting it perfectly is because I know when the ball is being snapped, so I can just come through and hit it perfectly. But let's see if I can do it against the computer. Hopefully they won't snap the ball too quick and I can be ready for it. Boom, right there. So you want to come through that hole and crack him, right? You don't have to. You can come through and let's see. Right there. It was a little bit slow coming through there. And sometimes I even hook zone that linebacker right there. Right there, I didn't get it set up. And you see what happens when you don't get it set up, a big hole opens up, right? So it's key to get everything set up in time, but you will have time. There you come straight through and then blow it up right in the backfield. So there's not going to be any running the ball, HB. Well, I'm not going to get on this one because I'm not set up at all. And you see what happens when you don't get set up. It comes straight through that hole. But you are going to have about 5 to 6 seconds to set it up, and that's plenty of time to get that set up before your opponent can decide what he's going to do. And anyway, your opponent probably on strong close, he's going to be trying to figure out where he's going to try to attack you, whether he's going to run it outside, inside, maybe he's going to pass. So you're going to have time to set it up. Hold on, let me set that up again. You're going to have time to set this up. But you can see we're stopping. That's the 5th play now that we're stopping out of this. Just come through, bam. And you see you will get help from one of these other linebackers coming through the hole on the other side. Now let's take a look at some other plays out of this. Real quick, just take a look and see. Because when I was labbing this defense up, it kind of surprised me that it was stopping this many plays all at once, all out of the same formation. We did the HB dive weak. Let's do the HB dive. Same thing. You can see, make sure you put this guy out wide, re-blitz Crick right here, and put Clowney on the flat zone. It's going to be the same way every time. And again, we're going to come straight through and crack that running back as he comes through. And then what you want to do is you want to, when you practice in this play, you want to practice kind of looping around. Because if you come straight down, let me show you what happens if you come straight down and you don't get that loop angle right. Let's say you, I don't know, you start here, right here, or you're too close to the line of scrimmage. Look, that guard will just pick you up, right? He'll just pick you up. Now, right there, Cushing actually came through pretty nice right there. So let me take a quick look at that. If that lets Cushing just come straight through the hole, if you just get down like that. Well, yeah, see, actually it does. So that actually happens every time, too. You see Cushing, what happens is the right guard and the right tackle, 72 and 76, they will always double team block this guy, which will allow Cushing, and he will always come around right there. But the only problem is sometimes if your opponent actually kind of makes a juke to the left, Cushing will end up overrunning the play. Now right there, he actually gets there, makes the play, and breaks up and gets that fumble right there. So you always will have Cushing coming off through that gap on the other side. It's just a matter of if your opponent actually runs through that gap. You know, see right there, Cushing didn't come through the gap, and then I missed the tackle in the backfield trying to hit stick. So a conservative way of playing it would be just to make sure you just press the X button and tackle. You see right there, I actually got picked up on the block, but then Cushing comes around because he's unblocked on that other side. So it's basically me and Cushing coming through, looping around the double team blocks, right? So I loop this way, Cushing loops the other way, and he gets him that time when I miss. So the HB dive is also stopped, right? The next thing we're going to look at, we'll probably take a look at this run game. Sam Mike 3. Let's take a look at, let's see, what have we done? Counter weak. Let's do this run play, and then we'll look at the Bucks wide trail. Same thing, set it up, move them wide, re-blitz, Clowney on that flat zone, and get to McKinney.
And again, we're going to be looking to, if it's a run to the inside or a counter, you always want to make sure you're ready to blitz through this A gap, this left A gap, and you want to loop around. Because if you're not ready, let's say I'm not ready and I start it like this, your opponent is going to probably try to bounce it outside like that. And you see it's pretty decent at getting out there. The defenders do a decent job of block shedding most of the time against this particular play, this counter weak. But to make it really awesome, you need to blow up that gap. So as soon as the play starts, just come in, pick up the blocker, and blow up the gap. And right there, he ends up getting 3. But this play doesn't just stop this particular run, but it does contain it. Your opponent is not going to be running this and getting 60-yard run. You just want to run in, blow up, and right there, I actually do blow up because his blockers are in front of him. He ends up getting stuck. So you do get a lot of tackles for loss on this if you blow up that gap properly. And look, come through, hit that blocker, and then the rest of my guys end up cleaning up on the backside. You also, when you do that, you keep your opponent kind of keep him from bouncing it outside to the left, right? He'll have to take it up inside because you're blowing up that blocker right there. And like he has to take it up inside, and right there, deep safety ends up making the play. Now he gets 5 yards, which is not what we want, but it's not a huge play running it for a big gain. Blow up the play, and then right there, well, that's another thing that will happen too, is just because we're blowing up the play, that right outside linebacker, which is Clowney, he, I think, just comes straight off. And look, nobody actually picks him up. So, and the reason is because I ended up picking up Fluker right here. 76 normally would pick up Clowney, but because I'm hitting this A gap hard, Fluker picks me up, and then Clowney is unblocked, and Clowney ends up blowing the play up right there, right? So you can see by blowing up the A gap, you're eating up the blockers, allowing your other guys to come in and make a play. And again, able to shut down another play. So that's 7 plays out of this formation that we've stopped. And all with the same setup, the same reads. Okay, we haven't done so the last one is HB zone weak. We'll do this real quick. We've already seen the run game, and you see what happens. So if it is a run to the backside or weak side, you always want to make sure you're ready. And you see right here, this is the only play that will potentially get yards, because what happens on this is even though you blow up that gap, he's able to bounce that outside. Yeah, right there. He's able to bounce that outside because just the way the blocking sets up, and they do a good job of sealing the edge. So let's see. We set it up the way we set it up. I read run. I blow up the gap. And look, you end up getting big yards. So this is the only run play that you're going to have problems with this setup. Not too many people are going to be running it. And if you want, I can figure out the counter to that run play. But I haven't even done it because the majority of the plays you're going to see are the ones we've gone over. You might see this. But if I was facing somebody who's running this, I probably would, instead of blowing up the gap, I would probably just stay and just kind of just read it and then wait for him to figure out which lane he's going to take, because he does have that free blocker coming in, blocking in front of him. So you don't really want to. But you could even take that safety down, and once he starts doing that, make sure you just contain it to the outside and let the computer try to blitz that A gap, and you clean up the outside left. So that is an easy way to stop it, is use the deep safety, and just if he tries to bounce it outside, make sure you're out left. Like that time he takes it inside, and make sure you're there to make that play. So this one isn't really great on stopping this play, but with all the other plays it stops, it is a really good base formation. And let me just take a look at the pinch buck. The good thing about the pinch buck, if you go to the 3-4 bear, now these guys are really out of position. I don't know. Yeah, okay, there we go. The good thing about the pinch buck is that if you set it up, same setup, put McKinney here and pass commit, This also works pretty decently as a run. And you see right there, McKinney ends up blowing that up. And so there is the counter right there. You can come to pinch buck, put McKinney in the right spot, use the deep safety, and if it is a run, McKinney should blow up the hole and you clean up on the other side. So you are going to contain it. You're not going to stop it every time, but you are going to contain this play and hold it to a very minimal gain. Sometimes you will get 5-6 yards on you, but it's a small price to pay for being able to stop those other plays, which are the ones that are more lethal anyway. So the last strong close play we're going to take a look at, Bucks wide trail. Now, I haven't really seen many people running this. People used to run all the time in Madden 25 because you used to get that face catch, but people have gone away from it and are running that PA deep cross in my experience. So same setup. Let's see. I would, again, when you come out in this, make sure you pass commit. Always be ready to attack this gap right here and loop around. As soon as you read it's not a run, drop back over the middle and play the middle of the field. So right here, if your opponent is coming out in this, I really want to be reading interior run and be ready to loop around and make that tackle. Because I know that if he runs the quick toss to the right, it's going to be pretty decent contain. Even if I'm late getting back over, there should be some people getting there to make that, blow up that play. On the left, I know if he's a pass and he wants to hit that quick out, I know that Clowney's on the left. So really all I got to do is my only responsibility is make sure he doesn't run on the weak side up the middle. And if it is a pass, cover any routes over the middle. So right here, I'd be covering, and then I would drop back, cover this middle route, and cover this secondary route coming over the middle. Now again, you see that I think 30% of the time, we're going to get Cushing coming through. And let me just show you what your opponent is most likely going to do. Most likely he's going to be looking for that one-on-one aggressive catch to this guy. And there it gets overthrown. And all you're going to want to do on that is basically click on and try to do your best. Because I think Cushing does come through sometimes on this play. Yeah, there you go. There's the one-on-one, the aggressive catch. And hopefully your defender will break it up like that. You might even want to let the computer play defense there, because I'm not having any success this year in Madden in breaking up deep passes. No matter what I do, play the ball, play the receiver, nothing is actually working. So hopefully they'll fix that for next year. But this is terrible, this aggressive catch. But again, come in there, play the middle. You see if your opponent does throw it over the middle, you'd be sitting right there to pick that trail route. So it is a pretty good play against this, but it doesn't really get the pressure like some of the other plays. So you're just going to have to do your best of trying to get the stop and right there the pressure does come off the right side. So if your opponent does hesitate, hopefully the pressure will come off in about, I don't know, 3 to 4 seconds. And that's all the kind of coverage you have to play. 3 to 4 seconds. And cover all these routes over the middle, and look, their pressure comes in. So you got 3 seconds to get in there and make that stop. If your opponent is going for that aggressive catch, however, you will be one-on-one deep ball looking for that. You can see it will be a one-on-one deep ball. And again, yeah, there we go. And he catches it. So again, let me make that adjustment and go to the pinch buck 0, right? Because what we want to do is send A-gap pressure and not let our opponent just throw the ball anywhere he wants to. So again, if we are going up and we know it's Bucks wide trail, I would come over here and try to double team this route right here so that he can't just aggressive catch it. Now let's see if the blitz does actually come in. I don't know what happened there, but I think the blitz does come in on this. So if we go pinch buck 0, move the setup, pass commit. I think if your opponent does drop back in this, there is going to be an A-gap in this. Okay, there we go. Well, it does get picked up a little bit, but the pressure is still pretty decent. Now I'm going to the 3-4 bear, setting it up like that. And you can see the 3-4 bear just gets 6 guys along the line of scrimmage. And we've got everything manned up. So if my opponent was going to that, you see, yeah, they do a good job of actually just block shedding and getting through. Now, it depends on the team you have, because right here we got J.J. Watt and Jared Crick, who are a pretty decent block shed. So they're going to get through. So if you got some weak DTs, you may not get that kind of pressure. Let me see, pinch buck. I think I was doing the old setup. All right, that Cushing needs to come down here. And again, we don't really get that, but he ends up breaking it up. So you can see we do have an adjustment there if your opponent is going to that Bucks wide trail, because you know he's trying to go for that aggressive catch. But there you go. There you have it. Strong close formation, completely either shut down or contained, and hopefully you will get your opponent out of this formation. There are a lot of people who are running this as their base set. So once they get out of this set, they don't know how to run anything else, right? They'll go to 11 personnel, try to go 4 verticals, and they don't even know how to run that. So if you can get them out of this play, which is what they're comfortable in, you have got the advantage, because then you can start bringing pressure with other plays and blitzing them and just pretty much getting them out of their comfort zone, out of this strong close formation. That's going to do it for this edition of Stop This Play. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel. Till next time, the Anti Madden is out. Peace.